Alright, welcome back to another one. Today we've got this, Euphoria by Dark Motherfucking Labs. Alright, straight up DMHA is what we're talking about today. That is what Euphoria is. It's a standalone ingredient by the hard hitters who are Dark Labs. Now, I've reviewed quite a few of their pre-workouts in the last couple of years, and yeah, they're all fucking pretty crazy. I don't get on with all of them, but yeah, they're a hard-hitting brand, that's for sure. Now, a week or two ago, they came out with this, Euphoria, which is, yeah, as I said, straight up DMHA. Now, DMHA is a very popular ingredient in the pre-workout community. I could take it or leave it, you know, I don't care if it's in there or not, but yeah, a lot of people love it, and yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what this is like on its own, as opposed to being in the mix with a load of other ingredients. So yeah, let's get to it. Now, we can't really do a cat test with this one, but, you know, we can give that a whiff anyway. You look tired. Ooh. Nose right in there. So first up, what the fuck is DMHA? Well, it's very similar in structure to amphetamine, speed. So here we have a little, oh, you can't really see it very well because of the reflection there. But we have amphetamine, and DMAA, and DMHA. Now you see the structure is very similar. Yeah, those are the kind of effects that you're going to feel from them. They're going to be very speed-like, but, you know, a lot milder, of course. You're going to get energy boost, you're going to get focus improvement, mood elevation, and it's also going to increase your pain threshold, so you just don't feel pain as much, so you just power through your fucking workouts, which is what I find with a lot of these Dark Labs pre's. You know you're injured, but you just keep going anyway because you just can't feel it. So yeah, DMHA is going to, you know, help with that. So let's take a quick look at what's in this motherfucker, but that's not going to take too long because there's just the one thing: 2-amino isoheptane, DMHA. Now, 2-amino isoheptane, it's a bit of a generalized name for it because there are different forms of DMHA within that. We have 2-amino-5-methylheptane and 2-amino-6-methylheptane. Now, 2-amino-6 is the synthetic version that we see most of. It's cheaper, and there's a bit more research done on it. Whereas 2-amino-5 is the natural version that we find in juglans, you know, the walnut tree extract, which is a lot more expensive to manufacture. So 2-amino-6 is what we usually tend to find. So we don't know what's in this one, but chances are it's 2-amino-6-methylheptane. In fact, here's a little diagram for you to see. So you've got 2-amino-5, which is the natural version, and 2-amino-6 here. And as you can see, the structures are very, very similar. So there we go. That's all the bollocks out the way. Let's fucking get into it, shall we? Yes, let's get into it. Right, so the serving size is, well, 1 capsule, and you get 60 of them, and there is 100 milligrams of DMHA in each. Now, we often find in pre-workouts, DMHA can range from anywhere between 100 and 200 plus milligrams. So I think, you know, 100 milligrams is good to start with. I wouldn't do any more than that on your first shot. Now, over the last week, I've done a fair bit of experimenting with this. I could have done with a bit more time on it, actually, before doing this review, just to see what it's like on more than 1 capsule. But I've been experimenting with 1, and it definitely works. It definitely does. You can pick out the feeling that you get from pre-workouts that have it in. You're like, oh, I recognize that buzz. So, you know, I definitely think it's legit stuff, which was a worry of mine to begin with, because, you know, you just don't know what you're getting with these kind of things. But Dark Labs, very trustworthy when it comes to this kind of shit. So yeah, it definitely is legit, in my opinion anyway. I've tried this with a couple of different pre-workouts, ones that, you know, could do with a little bit more edge to make them, you know, that much better. So, you know, I added a capsule in, and yeah, it really does transform a pre. It can turn a daily driver into a high stim pre-workout, depending on how many of these you use. I mean, one is the recommended, but, you know, if you were to put two in, which I think we're going to try that today, actually. We're going to see what two of these fuckers are like. Shall we? Yeah, we're going to do that. Right, so we're going to do two. Now, let's put them in with a pre-workout that, you know, could do with a bit more kick. Now, remember women's juice that we did a few weeks back? Now, I've got there's about a scoop left in there. So we're going to add it to this, because there are no, you know, high impact stimulants in this at all. It's a good base pre-workout to add stuff to, actually. So let's, right before I move on, Dark Labs recommend you adding them to this, but that's all right. You know, I want to stay alive today, so we're gonna put it into the women's juice instead. All right, so I'm gonna break them in, because, you know, I don't really have the time for these fucking things to dissolve, so we'll just chuck them in. And I wonder if you can snort this. Oh, all right, that burns. Why? Oh, don't judge me for that. It's my birthday today. Right, whilst we're waiting for that to kick in, if you are going to be adding this to a pre-workout, let it be known that DMHA improves caffeine, and caffeine improves DMHA. So those two are fucking buddies. Just remember, the more caffeine you got, probably the more effective the DMHA is going to be. It's going to amplify it, and vice versa. So yeah, don't go fucking crazy with this shit, because just don't go crazy with it. Holy fuck. And don't go snorting it. Oh. With the exception of the burning in my nose, I feel pretty good, but I can feel it coming on. I can feel this shit coming on. Alright, so I've given this plenty of time to kick in now, because I couldn't get my shit together. I couldn't find anything. So it's been a good, I don't know, about 25 minutes. And I could definitely feel things happening. But it's not so much of a kick in, it's a gradual, sort of smooth progression to the destination. It definitely puts you in a different headspace, completely. You know, I feel, not weird, but I feel different. Definitely. Now, I'm not usually that fussed about DMHA. If it's in the pre, it's in it. If it's not, it's not. I don't really care. But the one thing I really do like about DMHA is the precision it gives you when you're punching or kicking. You're really focused on the target, and everything seems so defined. You know, you're so precise. You're really on the case, and yeah, that's probably the biggest thing I enjoy about DMHA. Oh wow. Things become more defined, like you can almost count every branch on that fucking tree there. You just get super focused, and yeah, you're kind of in your own world with this. Yeah, it's not as intense as you may think at first. You know, you're not thrust into this new realm. You're kind of guided there. It's a smooth progression, and when you're there, you just know it. You know, you feel this head high. You feel, you know, like everything is just different. You know, everything just feels different. And yeah, it's a unique feel with whatever pre-workout you add it to. You know, it's always going to be a different buzz. But you're always going to have this precision, this laser focus, this concentration, which perhaps wasn't there before. And that is the fucking end of that. Euphoria by Dark Labs. Now, euphoria being the key word, do you get euphoric from it? Well, I've never really gotten that euphoria feeling from a pre-workout. Not really. I mean, true euphoria is, you know, a lot more intense than anything you're going to find in a tub like this. But do you get mood elevation from it? Yes. Do you get mood enhancement? Definitely. I mean, it puts you into just a different headspace, and the focus for me just goes through the roof. Everything is just like, it's a really inexpensive product. I mean, I picked this one up on the Black Friday deal, so it was like, I don't know, 12 quid plus postage, but you know, it's not a hell of a lot more than that anyway, so it's well worth giving it a shot. And if you want to get some money off this or any other Dark Labs product, use code THECATTEST10. I'll get you 10% off. So there we go, Dark Labs Euphoria. Get on the fucking case, and yeah, don't snort it. We'll see you in the next one.